My promise to you by the end of this video is you will have everything that you need to know to build your first ever dropshipping business to millions of dollars. I'm going to tell you straight to the point everything that you need to do to go from complete dropshipping beginner to building a multi-million dollar dropshipping business in 2024 and beyond. So my name is Brooke Hiddink. I am from a small Canadian town called St. Thomas, Ontario, with 30,000 people. For the first 20 years of my life, I spent playing hockey. I made it to semi-professional, played multiple years there, and I had concussions put into my hockey career. I ended up going to law school. During law school, I ended up getting a job at one of the top firms, and I was a summer student there. And once I did that, I found out I was absolutely going to hate my life doing that. So that's when I started with e-commerce. I first actually started in what most people know as AliExpress dropshipping, selling low-quality products from China, and I failed a whole bunch of stores. I think like 13 or something, trying to sell different things. I tried to sell watches, I tried to sell dog leashes, and it was finally when I found high-ticket dropshipping that I finally had success. In my first month, I think I did 30,000 in sales, second month, 150, third month, 215, and I actually used law school loan money to get started with it. So I had about $1,000, $1,500 to get started, and that is the business that I ended up building to over $6 million in under 2 years. And I ended up launching a coaching program so I could help others do it as well a year ago. And since then, I've helped over 150 people make their first $1,000 online, and over 10 people actually hit their first $100,000 per month. And we've had absolutely insane case studies. One student made $167,000 from one single order. We had two other brothers build their store to $1 million in just 7 months. And it all came from teaching the exact business model that I used myself to go from 0 to 6 million in under 2 years. When I got started in business, I was probably in a very similar situation to you. So like I said before, I'm from a very small Canadian town, 30,000 people, very middle class. Like we weren't poor or anything like that. I never had to worry about dinner being on the table, but we weren't wealthy. Like I never went on one single family vacation, nothing. So most of my parents' money went to my hockey career, like helping me get started with hockey, hotels on the weekends for tournaments, whatever else. We weren't wealthy by any means. And all along, I always knew I wanted to start a business inside. I was listening to podcasts when I was younger from people like Andy Frisella, Ed Milet. I always knew that I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know where to start. And I felt lost. So I just did what society told me to do. Go to a good school, get a good degree. So I spent all this time, years and years, pouring my effort, pouring my drive into law school. When you really think about it, it's pretty disturbing. You're encouraged by society to take loan money out to go get this degree, like I did. So I took over $100,000, though, $150,000 to go to law school. You work your ass off for 7 years. You waste all your time when you're young doing this. Then when you graduate, you get this job that you're told is like some super prestigious, important job. And then you have $150,000 in debt. And usually when you take that money out, you're young. You're like 18 to 20. You don't know the implications of that. And then you have to then get this job to pay back the debt that you took out. Say if you're like me, you take a big loan out to go to law school or med school so you can get a high paying job. Then when you get the high paying job, you give away half of it to tax. If you're making $200,000 a year, you only get like 120, and then you still have to pay your $150,000 loan back. So it's really a vicious cycle. And I felt completely trapped. Literally in the third and final year of law school, like at this time, I'd already got a job at the top firm for when I graduated. I was on the dean's list. I had like 2 months before graduating and I dropped out because I knew that I couldn't lie to myself for a second longer. I couldn't keep acting like I was okay with this, that I was okay with going down society's path. So I just dropped it. And to this day, I don't have any degree. I've made millions of dollars in the last 2 years since then. And it all started with this business model that I'll be explaining to you today. Like I said before, when I first got started, I was doing the traditional methods like AliExpress dropshipping, selling these low quality items. Like I think I tried 10 plus different stores and it just wasn't working at all. And after failing for so many stores doing the traditional AliExpress dropshipping methods, I heard a couple of podcasts of people talking about this other business model. It's very similar to dropshipping. It's called the authorized retailer model, but what you do is you partner with name brands in the US. So when you're dropshipping from China, you don't have a brand. Like you're just selling a no-name product. But with high ticket dropshipping, you partner with US brands that customers already know and trust. So they've been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years at times. And not only that, you're selling products that cost thousands of dollars. So you can make thousands of dollars take home profit per sale. So let's say if you're selling fidget spinners, if you want to make $10,000 profit a month, and let's say you make $5 per fidget spinner, that means $5 per fidget spinner, you're gonna have to sell 20 to make $100. You're gonna have to sell 200 to make $1,000. You're gonna have to sell 2,000 fidget spinners to make $10,000. Or you can sell one single product like a $9,000 infrared sauna, and you only have to sell one item to make $2,000. Not only do you have one order to process and ship versus 2,000, you have one customer to deal with. You only have to worry about fulfilling one item. It's just a way easier business to run. And this is the same business model that Walmart and Home Depot are built on top of. Like when you go to Home Depot or Walmart, you're not buying Walmart or Home Depot products. You're buying brands who sell through Walmart or Home Depot. So Walmart and Home Depot are the retailer. So we're doing the same thing. We're just becoming authorized retailers retailers, but we're doing it online. And you're probably thinking like, why would the brand let you sell their products? Very, very simple. The brand doesn't want to have to pay all these advertising agencies. The brand doesn't have to want to deal with customers. All the brand wants to do is worry about manufacturing an excellent product and shipping it. They don't want to have to do advertising and customers. So they work with online retailers like you, and you will advertise their products for them and bring in the sales for them. So then they don't have to do any of that. You will deal with the customers for them. All they have to do is ship the product. So it's a very symbiotic relationship where both parties are benefiting. There have been brands who have never spent $1 of their own money on ads that have grown to millions and millions of dollars through their authorized retailers. So it really, really benefits both parties. The benefit of that for you is you don't have to try and create some brand. You can just sell other brands. If you're selling a brand's product that's been around for 50 years, the customer doesn't necessarily care where they get it from. They're getting the same product. They know the brand. They trust the brand. So if you can put the right product in front of the person already looking for it, and you can answer their questions and be helpful, they'll have no problem buying from you. And that is exactly how I did over $6 million in my first 2 years on my first ever business. Like I said before, we specifically want to target products that cost over $3,000. And usually we want to find suppliers that will give us at least 30% margins after cost of goods sold and shipping. So that means when you make one sale for $3,000 or more, if you make 30%, you're getting $1,000 profit from one single order. So literally to hit $10,000 per month, $120,000 take home profit per year, you have to sell like 10 items per month. That is one every 3 days, which I think you'll agree, you can sell one item every 3 days online when you're selling to a market of 400 million people in the US. Think about that. 400 million people in the US, you have to sell 10 items. For terms like sauna, if you type in sauna online, there's 2 million people searching for them per month in the US alone. If you sell 10, you have $100,000 profit, which is absolutely insane. And like I said, this is exactly what I've done to go from zero to over $6 million in under 2 years. And it's not just me. I've helped over 150 people make their first $1,000 online. I've helped Jack and Joel, two brothers, build their store from absolutely zero to over $1 million in 7 months. Cabrin, he's a coach in my program now. He had 2 orders, one for $109,000, another one for $157,000. And he is now the official supplier for the US Army. I kid you not. The case studies that I have with this business model are like nothing you will ever find for complete beginners. There is no business model that you can start for like $400 or $500 that you can get an order for $167,000 within 4 or 5 months. Less, you could get it in 1 or 2 months. There's no business that you will find like that. It is absolutely insane, the opportunity right now. At a high level, to explain how the business works, you are going to reach out to these suppliers. You're going to say, hey, I'm the founder of XYZ store. We're interested in becoming an authorized retailer of your products. They might have some questions for you. You'll answer them. You'll become an authorized retailer. You'll sign the documents. Then you have permission to sell their products on your store. So that way, when you start advertising, a customer will go to your website and place the order. So let's say I'm your customer. I'll go to your website. I order a $10,000 massage chair off of you. Then let's say you have 30% margins. Massage chairs are usually higher, like 40 to 50. But then you will then take my $10,000. You will take 7,000 of it if you have 30% margins, and you will send that $7,000 to your supplier. Then your supplier will ship the massage chair to me directly, all without you ever seeing or touching it. And you then pocket the $3,000. And you're probably thinking, how much do you have to spend on ads? Usually when you're selling these very, very expensive items, you can get a very, very high return on ad spend. Usually we want to get 10, but if you can get closer to 15, that's excellent. So out of that $3,000 profit you had, you probably had to spend around $700 to $1,000 to acquire me as your customer, leaving your net profit bottom line $2,000, which is about 20%, which is a really good target for a high ticket e-commerce store to aim for. And that right there, my friends, is the exact blueprint and business model that you can use to build a multi-million dollar dropshipping store in 2024. And if you follow everything that I explained to you to a T, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you can change your life. You can build a business worth millions of dollars just like I've done, just like many of my program members have done. You can do it too. This is not a get rich quick scheme where you're going to click a button and it's all going to happen for you. You have to put the work in. And all the amazing case studies I shared with you today, they all had 2 things in common. Number 1, they had my blueprint. And number 2, they put the work in to make it happen. So at this point, I've given you the model. You understand what you have to do. You have to put the work in. So you have 2 choices. Choice number 1, you can go and try and do this all yourself. And to be honest with you, that's pretty much what I did. And I had courses. I didn't have any coaching or mentoring. So I tried to do it myself. And I wasted so much money on ads when I was getting started. I wasted so much money banging my head against the wall trying to figure this all out. And it was very, very frustrating, wasted a lot of money. I wish if I could go back, I would tell myself, just pay for the coaching. It will save you way more than you pay for it. So you can go try and do that yourself. It's definitely possible, like I said, but it will be a lot harder than if you have coaching, mentoring, a program, an active community of people who are actively doing it. So I'm not going to ask you to do that first. What I want you to do is I have a completely free 2-hour training that I'll outline all of this literally A to Z for you. And after you watch the free 2-hour training, you can decide whether whether or not you want to work with us, work with my team, you can click the link below that says highticketecommerce.co/live if you want to check out the training. Or if you've already made up your mind and you want to work directly with me and my team, you can book a call at the link below that says book a call, and you can speak with us and see if you are a fit. I hope you took value from this video. Hope you see how much more sense high ticket dropshipping and the authorized retailer model makes compared to many of the traditional businesses that people are doing online, like wasting your time with an agency, which is essentially a sweatshop job where you're just a slave to all your clients. So instead of having a boss, your bosses are your clients. This business here that I explained today, you can completely outsource. My business is literally like 30 minutes a week on it right now. It's completely automated, brings in cash flow profit, all on autopilot, which is super cool. So again, thank you for tuning in, guys. If you like the video, give me a like, comment below. I'll try and respond to all comments and questions. But that is all for today. Cheers.